In Traverse City, it was super fun. And we would, I got together with buddies, met them in baseball, and like summer days were meeting up. And we would just pull BMX bikes out of the dumpsters and work on them and wrench them. And then we'd go find places to jump them. And we would just be hanging out all day long. We'd barbecue hot dogs, drink some burners, hit the beach, be at the ball field, practicing our double plays. And then we'd break about 3:00 and go throw papers around, deliver our newspapers, and then get back together for some more hot dogs or something for dinner. But that was a pretty typical summer day of Michigan days.
That sounds awesome, man. I'm jealous a little bit.
Welcome to the Kooler Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kuehlhorn, and I'm excited to have you join me as I interview community members and business leaders from the communities in which I live, work, and serve through my business, Kooler Garage Doors. We're going to bring you highlights on characters in our communities. Why? Because community matters, and I want to know more about who is behind our business and leadership in order to understand and support the community fabric that our relationships make up. And collectively, we can build stronger communities that support our lifestyles, our youth, and our health.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kooler Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kuehlhorn, and today we have a special event. We're going to do a little flipping the script. This is Luke Hilton, who is our CSR vehicle manager, DSR, the wearer of many hats. Luke, how you doing today?
You're doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. What do you got? This little flip the script. You're going to ask me some questions, pull out some answers, get some information out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we could let the people get to know you a little bit since you're always interviewing other people. Let's just start from the beginning. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in a mix of Chicago on the south side and Traverse City, Michigan. So my family moved there when I was 11. So I went from south side, city, Chicago, kind of locked down to one city block to almost overnight having full freedom of a small rural town near the beach in Traverse City, Michigan.
It's a pretty big change there.
Yeah, it was significant.
Yeah, Midwest kid though. What was childhood like down there?
In Traverse City, it was super fun. And we would, I got together with buddies, met them in baseball, and like summer days were meeting up. And we would just pull BMX bikes out of the dumpsters and work on them and wrench them. And then we'd go find places to jump them. And we would just be hanging out all day long. We'd barbecue hot dogs, drink some burners, hit the beach, be at the ball field, practicing our double plays. And then we'd break about 3:00 and go throw papers around, deliver our newspapers, and then get back together for some more hot dogs or something for dinner. But that was a pretty typical summer day of Michigan days.
That sounds awesome, man. I'm jealous a little bit. But
good.
Yeah, so now I've been in Colorado for a while now. When did you move and what brought you here?
Yeah, so I came into Gunnison in 1997, and it was just a series of events. I was working at a summer resort in Michigan, and there was a red Scirocco that pulled up, and 5 college-age dudes got out of that tiny red Scirocco, and they just drove from Gunnison all night long. And they brought the party with them. The place was never the same since those guys showed up in that summer. And I just had a blast with them. Got to know some really great friends. Some of those cats are still in this Gunnison Valley, and some are scattered elsewhere. That was my first introduction to Western and Gunnison. And I went up to Northern Michigan University in Marquette, Michigan. And then the folks that I made friends with there were already talking about transferring out to Western. So it was like one after another. And then CBMR was in the cafeteria giving away jobs. And so that's really what I did. I just signed up for the student work program when they had that going with CBMR. I was the second to last year where they pulled about 80 college kids, lined us out in Schumacher's cabins up in Almont. And Nick Maroli would drive the school bus in the morning and the afternoon Yeah, and that was my first winter out here, just skiing, and Michigan kid, loving it. I was working up at the Paradise Cafe.
Awesome, man. Yeah, this place definitely has a way of kind of sinking its hooks into people, and they don't seem to leave. That's what happened to me. So that's awesome, though.
Yeah.
But so I guess kind of take us through some of the other jobs you had as you got older, and what led you to the beginning of Kooler.
Word. I did a lot of experiential education. That's ultimately what I found in college, was experiential and outdoor education, and fell in love with it. It's definitely how I learn. And what I did with that was went all over Southern California, Alaska, Hawaii, working these outdoor ed jobs, and they were all seasonal. And I had some friends that we planned a trip down to Baja, and we were going to do this 3-week kayaking trip, and it fell a little bit short. And so without anything planned, I came back to Crested Butte for a ski bum winter. And I started working in some nonprofit outdoor ed types roles. I worked with the Adaptive Sports Center for a number of years, developed their summer program for a bit. I worked with GCSAP with our mentoring. I was heavily involved with juvenile diversion. I always loved working with that age group of middle schoolers, high schoolers, and then even older kids, because I think we're all kids. But ultimately, Kooler started in 2015, a bit by mistake, because I had worked with the county, and I was running our Gunnison County Substance Abuse Prevention Project from 2012 to just about the end of 2014, and I think maybe into 2015, just a hair. But then I ultimately made a decision to jump, and I had attained some goals. I was hired to pretty much bring in some financing. So in that 2 years, I learned how to write grants, and I wrote over $1 million in grant funding for that organization. And then I just didn't reset goals, and I love to achieve. So I left that role with little babies at home, and I didn't have anything that I was stepping into. I was trying to create another entity that I called Community Thrive, and I didn't have a revenue driver for it. So 3 months in, I was pretty much broke, and I didn't want to go broke again. I went broke, Chapter 7 broke in 2011. And so I was trying to figure out what to do. A buddy of mine invited me to paint out some walls of a spec house of his for $20 an hour. And so I did that. And during that experience, I A, learned how to paint a little bit, B, learned from an old landlord where my firstborn child was born, like in this house, the ski fence house. And she was trying to find somebody to give her a paint quote and couldn't get anybody to call her back, and was starting to get frustrated. And I just heard about that while I'm painting my buddy's spec house. And I was like, oh, there it is. So I cut a deal with her, and that's literally how Kooler started. Without a dime, I cut a deal, did a little research. I took $2,000 of a deposit of an $8,600 job, and I bought a spray pump. I filed my LLC with the Colorado Secretary of State, and I bought a $5 logo of Kooler, which came off of my hockey jersey. Now, the Gentleman Beer League Hockey League. That's really what kicked it off.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I've obviously heard the story, but for people who may not know the background of our company, we're not a paint company anymore. We do garage doors. So what started that transition? What gave you the idea to make that jump? Hey everybody, this is Luke from Kooler Garage Doors. Just want to take a quick second to talk about our sponsor, Sommar Garage Door Openers. In our opinion, Sommars are the highest quality product on the market today. We recommend them for all of our residential garage door installs because of the variety of features they include, such as Wi-Fi connectivity and safety features such as a fixed chain, which moves along a secure rail to ensure your garage door opens quietly and safely. Click on the link in the description to learn more about Sommar Garage Door Openers.
Yeah, so mid 2000s, I guess, Annie and we got married in 2005. And right around that time, Crested Butte was going through a boom like we've seen in the last couple of years. And as a new married or almost married couple, I was thinking, man, we really got to get a house. And I was going through motions, right? There's a whole different conversation, but the game was, I was going through the motions, and I was not going to be ready to buy a house at $600,000. I mean, these houses are now 1.5. Like, I should have bought.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was like so intimidated, and we had an opportunity to move. So we left actually Crested Butte. We were getting ready for a scene of change of scenery. We left Crested Butte and then went up to Montana. And 3 months later, we came back down to Gunnison. So we left. We actually went to Florida to get married, and then we came back to Montana and knew at that time we had to get back to Gunny. So it took us a couple months to get back to Gunny, and I'm picking up any odd job. I'm working at bike shops. I'm working at the Gunnison Garage Door company that was in town then. I'm doing whatever I can to piece it together, and the door company was super fun. I worked with Don Lansford, and we drove in a truck, and I just loved it, like engaged my mechanical mind. And it was super fun, short-term style jobs. And so as I got a little bit of traction with Kooler painting, I was like, oh, we're bringing in garage doors, because in 07, 08, Gunnison Garage Door left. They're just gone, and they left this void. And so I was like, okay, this niche is still here. I want to bring this in. I knew just enough about doors to be super dangerous. So I started them together. And by 2015, I started painting in May of 2015. And I would get job after job, and I started hiring a crew right away. And by that winter, I had some door sales, and I sold a large commercial door. That was an amazing learning opportunity, like head banging challenge and learning opportunity. And that job was really what kind of put bread on the table through the winter, because painting would slow way down. And then the two of them played for a long time until they didn't. And, last year we made the decision to focus in on garage doors, because I think it's the niche. I think it's what I can ultimately get more excited about than painting, and had some really good players on the team already ready to back that one up.
Yeah. I think we have some pretty good players for sure. But I guess from the start of the company way back 8 years ago and now, did you ever envision it being like this? Did you ever see it being like it is now, and what it may be in the future?
Yes and no. It keeps showing itself, right? Like at this point in time, it goes beyond Matt. Like it's not just Matt moving all the levers, right? We've got some great team members, and Pascual and Grand Junction is just really serving the Grand Junction community with garage doors. And it's starting to take, the analogy, Luke, again, I really went over this weekend, so my oldest baby is now 13. She's a teenager, and she's a young adult. She's starting to make some real decisions that only she can make for herself, right? And I have to release control. Like, as much as I want to protect my baby girl, I've also, embedded enough knowledge and fingers crossed morals and values, and it really is time to let go. Like, I'm there to support. I also got her. But the analogy is similar in a way, like, Kooler came about and was his little baby toddler for a few years, and now it's not. And now it's beyond Matt. Like, I can't control everything in the company anymore, and I wouldn't even want to. But it's time to let go. So I say yes and no, because I envisioned having something that was beyond me, that was large. And, over the years, I've done some cool projects, but this is probably not, no pun intended really, but probably the coolest project to date, because I've gotten the most committed, and there's amazing people like yourself and other folks on this team that keep showing up, and it amazes me, because now we're starting to click, and it's beyond any one individual, right? And that really is cool. Now there's more people hitting the flywheel and making this thing move. And so I'm really excited about the future. I have no idea where it could go, but the potential is like limitless.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good segue into the next question is, where do you want it to go and where do you see it going?
Well, I want it to be a force for good. And, I'd love to see all the team players living a fulfilled life that is engaging, right? Like there's no way in life for it to not be difficult at times. And I think we've got some incredible values and a core reason for existing. It's not about making dollars almost to a fault. Like maybe it should be more about some profit, but it's also really about people, promises, values, building strength in community. Like this is only an extension of my past decades of working in community. And I can see, especially with a nonprofit background, how to utilize for-profit entities for real change, for real good. And I'm proud of the lifestyle that we can offer to our team members. I think that can grow even more. I think folks that want to take on leadership, should A, have a place to do that, B, have the correct challenge and feedback to really move and grow, and C, get compensated really well so that they can build their own family wealth. And I think that's totally possible. I can't be more excited about the garage door industry in itself and the market in general. Like there's big shift happening and I love change. So I feel like it's just made for where I'm at right now, as far as having the opportunity to lead and guide, and who knows really where it's going to go. But I do think that we're going to grow throughout Colorado as a garage door company, and then maybe on a larger scale as a brand.
Absolutely. I agree. That's awesome, man. And, just in general, if you could really nail it down, what do you think sets us apart as a company? Like, what is it that makes Kooler as compared to any other number of garage door companies?
There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of differences. I keep noodling on it because I never feel like it's clear enough. I mean, the fact that we have certified professionals is just one, but really that should just be the entry level play. Everybody should have certified professionals. Everybody should have courteous folks that answer the phone. Everybody should have, great representation of their brand and be responsive. But I think ultimately the real difference that makes the difference is that we really do focus in on connecting with people. And as I think about this more and more and kind of, see it evolve and show itself as much as, me pushing and guiding on it, I think it really is about connecting people to people. And we're the folks that somebody can call if they're stuck, if they need help. As homeowners, we don't always know who to call. In rural Colorado, we don't always have great resources for who to call. But I want folks to call Kooler if they have questions or if they need a referral for garage flooring, epoxy flooring, paint, almost anything in the house. Like we have a strong network, and if it's not us, we can find somebody for you. But I really think it's about, being a team player. I think our promise is really unique. Like we really got our customers. That's true. I've proved it over and over again. Like we got them. We're not going to let them down. And that's a differentiator for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. That's really all I got. Is there anything else you wanted to add, or?
I don't think so,
Awesome.
man.
Well, yeah, it was
It's
good to flip the script and ask you some questions, and Yeah, if I can say, you know, I don't know if you hear it enough, but thanks for all you do for us, like everything you laid out, that you're able to do and the opportunities you present us. And yeah, it means a lot, and we're all really stoked to work here, and you make it all possible, man. So thank you.
Here. Appreciate
Absolutely.
that, man.
Well, thanks, Matt. I'll see you in probably like 5 minutes.
Sounds good, Luke. Thanks, man.
Hey guys, this is Luke from Kooler Garage Doors. Since that podcast was so short this week, we decided to upload another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kooler Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kuehlhorn, and today I have the honor, the privilege to sit down with Pascual Ramos, professional certified technician for Kooler Garage Doors and a part owner. Pascual, how are you?
I'm doing great today. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. That was the first time ever using that intro like that.
Nice, I like it.
What'd you think of that?
I like it. That's exciting.
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see how it really flows. But I thought you deserved it, man.
Well, thank you.
Got to roll out the red carpet for you. I want to give a shout out to you first as we kick this off, and just let the listeners know a little bit of who you are and how I know you. You are our lead technician. You are the guy for Kooler Garage Doors in Grand Junction. So if anybody has a garage door repair need in Grand Junction, Pascual Ramos is going to be the guy coming to your door. I've known you now, Pascual, for maybe 7 years in the realm of Kooler, and you first started with us as a painter and quickly migrated over to doors and never looked back since. You're mid to late 20s, and you have a number of certifications from the International Door Association, which is pretty cool. There's a number of folks that have been in the industry for decades sit for these exams and they don't pass, and you've moved through a number of them. And I just want to give you a shout out, man. The amount of knowledge that you've gained over the years and the role that you're stepping into, the leadership that you're taking on is something to be really proud of. And I just wanted to give you a shout out there, and I'm really psyched that you're part of this team.
Sweet, thank you. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Tell us, where'd you grow up?
So I mean, basically, I was born in Mexico. Moved to Gunnison really young. 3 years old, we moved up to Gunnison, and we basically lived in Gunnison for most of our life. We lived in Gunnison. We decided we were gonna move away for a couple years. Moved to Texas for 3 years. And my parents decided they wanted to come back right away. So we ended up coming straight back to Gunnison. Ended up going to automotive school in Denver after high school. And then stayed in Denver for about a year or so and ended up coming right back to Gunnison again. So basically been in Gunnison my whole life.
What was childhood like? What was it like growing up for you in Gunnison?
I mean, it was pretty great. I said growing up in Gunnison is always awesome. The time I grew up with my 3 siblings, an older sister and younger brother, and a younger sister also. So I mean, we always same big family and whatnot. Always traveling to Mexico and stuff like that too every year.
Yeah, your family's pretty tight.
Yeah, we're all pretty tight, I'd say. I mean, we've all lived in Gunnison. Everybody still lives there. Think everybody's living back there again, and I'm the only one that moved away again.
Everybody's back in Gunnison right now.
Everybody's back in Gunnison. Yeah, my little brother moved away for a year or so, and then he, same thing, ended up going right back. My parents live there. My and all my siblings are living there. So.
Yeah, cool. You said you have an older sister, so you're not the oldest.
No, I'm not the oldest. I'm second oldest.
Yep. Cool, man. You've really grabbed onto garage doors. What is it about garage doors that you like? What's
like I said,
really
I went to
grabbed ya?
school for automotive, so it's just I just loved wrenching and whatnot. Wrenching in cars, I guess, was a little bit too much. I have a love for cars, and then just wrenching in cars for a daily job. Didn't really want to work on my cars, and it kind of took my hobby away from me. So it kind of coming in, doing doors, I was still messing with wrenches and whatnot, and basically same kind of feels, different stuff. And I guess that's really what I ended up liking about it, was still being able to use my mechanical skills.
Yeah, I love that. It is such a mechanical job. I mean, same kind of office, except you get to bounce around into different garages.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that's one of the things I love the most about it is just not being stuck in the same place every day, and then just getting to check out some other places out here. Like, I mean, some of the houses I'm going to see in the years working with garage doors are just amazing, and it seems like there's always more opportunity, and you get to meet a bunch of people. You meet people that you'd never think you'd even talk to in a daily life.
That's awesome. What have you enjoyed about Grand Junction and the Grand Junction community since you've been down there?
Think a lot of the food and how warm it is down here. It was like still winter down here, but it's been super nice. Been glad to get away from the negatives down in Gunnison and the bunch of snow you guys have down there right now.
Yeah, it's blowing like crazy right now.
Yeah,
but I understand it's windy over by you too. Maybe not as cold though.
Yeah, it's a little windy, but nothing super cold.
Right on. What do you think most homeowners don't know about their garage door that they might want to know?
I guess probably that's the biggest entry of your house, and it's the one that's one of the appliances that don't get maintenance as much. Everybody usually maintenances all their water heaters and all that stuff that they use in a daily, but never really pay much attention to the garage doors when it is the biggest entry point of your house, and it is one of the ones that brings the biggest return to a house when you're trying to sell the house.
It is, yeah. A lot of people don't recognize that, but I'm biased in that, but I do agree.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think people like about you when they meet you?
Well, I guess I'm pretty easy to get along with, and I'm pretty good at starting conversations with people. So I think that's what a lot of people enjoy. I guess a lot of people say I'm pretty friendly too. So I mean, just being able to walk into somebody's garage and then knowing my job, a lot of people say I'm very good at what I do. So they actually feel like a professional in their house.
Yeah, there is actually a professional in the house when you're in the house. It's true. And I would agree. Like, I get feedback often, and people are psyched to meet you. You certainly have the technical skills, but you've been able to blend it with the soft skills, and being personable, easy for people to talk to, is really a cool skill set.
Definitely.
What are you excited for? What are you looking forward to?
I think I'm excited for late days and really warm weather down here in Grand Junction, and then just get to expand a little bit down here, meeting new people, and then in a community that's a lot bigger than Gunnison, and then just getting to see what really this side of Colorado is more like.
Are you looking forward to having other folks part of the team down there?
I definitely am. I definitely have been getting ready to get a couple other people on board. Gets a little lonely down here sometimes being by myself, so I'm definitely ready to have a team under me.
Yeah, that's the truth. If somebody's listening and, potentially has some interest in the garage door industry, what would you share from your perspective? Like, what might you as an individual leader and or Kooler and or the trade in general have to offer people?
I mean, I guess Kooler is just a really great company to work for. It's just like we are a tight group of people. Everybody that works with us, we're more like a family and whatnot. We take care of each other pretty well. So we're looking for, I guess, for somebody that can fit in or with our personalities and gets along with all of us.
Yeah. How would you define our culture?
Define our culture?
Yeah.
Like I said, I think we're pretty much a family. Like, we don't, coming into work isn't really work when you're having fun most of the time.
It is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Awesome, man. What else you want to share? What else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, I guess just ready to get this thing really moving down here, and then just having busier days is like, I think it's what get excited for the most is being busy, and then just not realizing where time's going.
Yeah. Those days are coming for sure. So part of it's like to enjoy the quiet, enjoy the calm before the storm, if you will. But it's the weather warms up and springtime engages. We're just going to get more and more busy across the board with services and tune-ups. For folks that are listening, I'm starting to bring in some of our employees, some of our team members, and we started with Pascual because he's down in Grand Junction and really spearheading it, man. And it's not like the carpet's all rolled out. There's some tenacity that's needed, right, to grind it out, if you will. Little guerrilla marketing kind of stuff, and opening up a new market is not easy by any means. And there's certainly some strong competition in town, yeah?
Definitely. There's some big players down here that have been out here for a while too. So, I mean, you see it every day. As I say, being in Gunnison, it's like we do have a little bit of competition, but I haven't felt it as much in being there. And I guess it's just pushing you to learn more and then be the best I can out here.
Yeah, I love it. What makes us different?
I guess we aren't there just to give you a service. We're there to actually get to know who you are and then what you do with your home too. And then make your garage feel like home to you, make you secure in your place. It's kind of what we do. A lot of these service people are just out there to get something fixed and get out of there. We're there to build a relationship with people.
Yeah, I love that, man. Love it. Well, you've got a new vehicle coming down. It's our second van, which will be pretty fun. And maybe in May we'll land another van.
Yeah, it'll
be fun. Cool, man. Pascual, I really appreciate you being part of our team. I appreciate you coming on and putting a little bit of your story out into the world and being a part of this podcast. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. I know we're going to talk soon. And if anybody's listening and wants to reach out to Pascual, give us a call at Kooler. We've got the 970-660-3456 is our junction number. 970-596-3696 is our Gunnison number. And if you're down in Junction, give us a call. We'll get Pascual to your door, and you'll meet his friendly face in person. Appreciate you, man.
See, thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.